Now notice, I don't talk when the food processor is moving because I'm a celebrity chef.
Hi everyone, I'm Judy Joo.
Hey guys, it's Chef Marc Murphy here.
Hi, I'm Chef Anne Burrell.
It's your boy Adam Richman coming to you from my home.
What's going on, everyone? Richard Blais here for Delish.
What's up, y'all? It's Chef Millie Peartree here.
Hey everybody, Andrew Zimmern here. It's guacamole time in our kitchen.
And I'm gonna show you today how to make my super famous guacamole.
Today I'm going to be actually using some peanuts. And the reason I'm using peanuts is because when Marcus Samuelsson was over one day, he made guacamole and he threw some toasted peanuts in it. And it was delicious, so I'm gonna do the same thing. So first I'm gonna take my peanuts, put them and get them a little bit roasted in the saute pan. I'd like to take my red onion and my lime juice and my jalapeno, and I like to marinate it with the lime juice because that sort of brings all those flavors together. And I put my cilantro in there. So I cut my avocado in half like this, I spin it around, pop it open, and then to take the pit out, the butt of the knife a little like that. Little lines, don't push too hard, you don't want to cut your hand. And scoop, and you see if you score it like that, when you scoop it, it's already chopped up basically. All right, so I'm gonna dice up my red onion. I like to make it nice and small. You don't want to get that huge bite of onion, at least I don't want that. Peanuts don't get burnt. That'd be embarrassing. One of my favorite tools in the kitchen, but it's this lemon lime squeezer. The reason I like it so much is because it just gets all of the juice out. Lime juice, I find, is always key. We've got our lime juice and my onion. I'm actually gonna put a little pinch of salt in there. Diced up jalapeno. I'm not gonna be using the seeds of the jalapeno. Now remember, when you're using jalapenos, you do not want to touch your face or your eyes after you've done this. You want to make sure you wash your hands thoroughly. But I do like the freshness of the fresh jalapeno like this in my guacamole. Gives it a nice little pop. And by the way, you could do this a little ahead of time so it has a little bit more time to marinate. Now I'm going to toss in my cilantro. Another ingredient to give a little bit more spice, I'm going to be adding a little bit of tahini, which is a Mexican sort of spice. It gives it a little kick, which I love. Now, I've got my peanuts that are nicely toasted. It's brought out some of the oils, and I'm gonna crush them. If you have a mortar or pestle at home, you can use that, or I have a bowl and a cocktail shaker. Just gonna crush the peanuts. So what's nice about this guacamole, I remember when Marcus made it, it gives a nice little texture to it, which is really, really pleasant. Oh, now we're gonna put it all together. I'm gonna put in my onion and my jalapeno and my lime juice. I'm gonna put my peanuts in. There, go for it. We're gonna mix this together. Got a taste test. We need a little more salt in there. So that's my rendition, or actually it's more Marcus's rendition, something that I picked up from him. You know, as chefs, we're always picking up different ideas from people. This is my rendition that I love. Cheers.
Hi, I'm Chef Anne Burrell, and I'm gonna whip together a super yummy, quick and easy guacamole. We are looking for avocados that sort of feel heavy for their size and have sort of a nice give, but are not mushy. To cut an avocado, you cut right in the middle, all the way around the pit. And then you can twist it, ooh, all right. And you can twist it right out, there we go. We cut it in a crosshatch direction, and we scoop it right out of the skin. I always think this is like my avocado skin oxygen mask. I need avocado. If they're a little brown like that, you can scoop off the brown. It happens sometimes. These are really nice, ripe, delicious avocados. You don't want to smash around the avocados too much. So I kind of get everything in there and then mix it around. I want to feel some nice avocado chunkiness. So, but I like a really limey guacamole. So juice and zest of 2 limes. We get that in there. We have 1 tomato that the seeds and gel have been taken out. We have half of a red onion that has been very finely diced. We have 1 jalapeno pepper that the stem and seeds have been taken out and finely diced. If you are a spicy guacamole person, you could add more. If you're not, you can back it on down. All right. I have 2 garlic cloves that have been smashed and very finely chopped. Those go right in there. And I have 1 bunch of cilantro that has been very finely chopped as well. This is a very basic, jumping off point, but to me, it's traditional, it's the standard, and I love it. We give a nice big sprinkle of salt because remember, we have a lot of lime juice in there, and lime and acid sort of meet in the middle. They're 2 flavor opposites, and think salt and vinegar potato chips. That's why we like them. If you feel like your guacamole is a little bit too limey, add another little pinch of salt. If it's too salty, add a little bit more lime. So once everybody's has all been mixed together, I'm just gonna give it a taste to make sure it's delicious. Oh yeah. That makes me happy. That makes me want a margarita. And there we go. That's it. It's done. And you know what I have over here? A big bowl full of chips. That's what I say. That's a good guac. I'm gonna keep this one all for myself. Thanks for joining me. I'm Chef Anne Burrell.
What's going on, everyone? Richard Blais here for Delish, and today we're about to make one of my favorite snacks. My wife Jasmine, who's also the camera op, made some crispy tortilla chips, and we're about to pair it with its match that's been made in heaven: green, luscious, creamy, frozen peas. What? You think that's insanely delicious? We're actually going to be making a version of guacamole. So we are going to bring to the game some avocado, but we're going to take it to the next level. We're going to combine guacamole, the beautiful avocado, with frozen English peas to make, if you know the name for green peas in French, they're called petit pois. Petit pois and guacamole, that's right, it's time for petit pois guacamole. Because I got jokes. This is gonna be a simple guacamole recipe where we're gonna combine frozen English peas, bag of peas, microwave for 2 minutes with some plastic wrap on it. We got some onions and a little leftover pickled jalapeno and some cilantro. We have a little bit of cumin, salt, pepper, and an avocado. So we're gonna start by tossing in my English peas into the food processor. If you're cooking for your family or you're looking for some good nutrition, this is a way to really sort of get nutrition through potentially deception. It's a nice way to sort of sneak in some green vegetables here. We have the peas in there. I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil just to get this spinning. I'm gonna add a little bit of cumin as well, a little bit of lemon juice. Going to be a little bit of salt. This is just some sea salt. Now notice, I don't talk when the food processor is moving, because I'm a celebrity chef. Okay, there we go. English peas, nice and crushed up. You know what, I'd like them a little smoother, so I'm gonna add a little bit more olive oil to this. Okay, so there we go. We've cut around our avocado, and now I'm just gonna pop out the pit. Here's something that's really interesting. I don't want to puree the avocado into the peas because I like it nice and chunky. So I'm just gonna sort of cut around this and then just add our avocado to the pea. Onions, a little bit of that jalapeno that was left over from takeout the other day. I don't want to puree the avocado like I said, so I'm just gonna give it a quick little pulse. That's it. Now I'm gonna mix it all up with my spoon right there inside of the food processor. I'll add a little bit more lemon juice because I love the acidity. I can tell it wants a little bit more acidity. Bit of cracked pepper, a touch more of salt. You never know, there were peas inside of it, and that's probably good for most people.
What's up, y'all? It's Chef Millie Peartree here. I'm going to show you guys how I make my famous guacamole. So we're going to take our avocados and we're going to slice them. Ooh, she look good. And then we're going to slice down the middle. And we're going to use 2 avocados. So So I remember the first time I made guacamole, it was with my friend Jawara. We were in college and we were just walking around and he's like, well, let's just make some really quick snacks. So we make guacamole, and since then it's like our favorite thing to eat. Every time we get on the phone with one another, for some strange reason, he always references this guacamole. So I'm happy to actually share it with you guys today. And please feel free to add as much lime juice as you would like. And I'd like to do it in the beginning because I don't want my avocado to oxidize and get brown. We want it to be nice and pretty. Love lots of lime juice. And then we're going to add some of our red onions. I like it spicy, so we're gonna use the whole jalapeno, seeds and all. Some tomato, garlic, some salt, some fresh cracked pepper, and cilantro. So then we're gonna combine all of these ingredients together. I like it on the chunky side. Delicious. I don't need nothing else. That is delicious. And there you guys have it, my super simple guacamole. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Hey everybody, Andrew Zimmern here. It's guacamole time in our kitchen. You know, I make guacamole the way I like to eat it, so it does have one little twist at the end. The first thing that I do is I find my 2 ripest avocados. I make a lateral incision rolling the avocado across, not the knife, that way I don't cut myself. Spoon takes out all of the avocado. Break the avocado up. When I stir it together, I'll turn half of this into cream. By doing this, I can actually keep some of the pieces of avocado intact, because I'm just gonna fold this together so that there's chunks. So now I have a mixture of avocado chunks and avocado puree. Next thing, cilantro. A couple tablespoons of cilantro leaves into a coarse chiffonade, so you're actually biting down into real pieces of herb. To me, this is all about onion, lime, and salt. Hot chili. I'm a big fan of serranos. I cut it in half. I like the seeds and the filament that's in there. It tastes vaguely citrusy, has superb heat. Not all peppers have a seed core that is edible the way serranos do. I put those thin slices in there so you bite down on little pops of crazy, awesome heat. My general rule of thumb is 1 lime to every 2 avocados. I could get more juice out of that, except that the last 15% of juice tends to be really bitter. So I only squeeze 85–90% of the juice out of my limes. Salt, really important. Like mashed potatoes, guacamole sucks up salt. And then the last thing that I do, because I love the acidity of tomatoes, is I quarter some cherry tomatoes or 1 Roma, and I just pop those in. I tend not to use like super juicy, overripe ones in the middle of summer because they're just too wet. Just fold that together. Don't grind it up. You're not making cat food. You don't need to over-mix it. I make this once a week. Flawless, absolutely flawless. Wow. I make a good guacamole, what am I gonna say?
Hi everyone, I'm Judy Joo, and I'm going to show you today how to make my super famous guacamole. These are maybe a bit too ripe, but they're nice and soft also. Cut around the avocado, just like that, and you're going to twist it open. It goes just like this, so that's good. And then carefully, you take the knife, shove it into the pit, and twist it out just like that. A good trick, you want to keep the pits, because if you put these in with your avocado after it's all done in your guacamole, it helps it from turning brown. So we're going to keep those to put in later. I like to just use a spoon and you scoop it out just from the skin, just like that. It comes out nicely. I don't have a traditional volcanic rock mortar and pestle, but I'm using my Korean dolsot bowl because it looks like it. It's the closest thing I had, so why not? And also, if your avocados are not ripe enough, you can put them in a plastic bag, and then the plastic bag helps them ripen a bit faster and keep them out at room temperature. Next, I'm going to put in some chopped red onion, and then I have a tomato, and I'm going to use probably about half of the tomato, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the seeds, and you do that just by cutting them out. And you do this because I don't want too much water in my guacamole. And I'm gonna put a little bit of garlic, not too much. I already used half of my elephant garlic. Of course, some cilantro or coriander. I just want the leaves. And I'm just going to roll them together. Finely chiffonade. Like that. Another good trick is to roll your limes a little bit to soften them up. Slice it in half. I like to use one of these juicers and juice of one lime in there. It's a good workout. Ugh. Upper body strength. God, these aren't as ripe as I wanted. Let's get them mashed down, and I'm gonna put a couple of dashes of Tabasco. And then, of course, some salt. This is screaming for salt. And then we're gonna mash that down until it becomes smooth. A couple more dashes of Tabasco because I like things a little spicy and hot. And if you don't like it hot and spicy, you don't know what you're missing out on, but you can leave it out. That's good. That is so good. Right amount of spice, citrus, kind of bright notes, enough salt. I love the cilantro that's coming through. I'm gonna double dip, don't tell anyone. And that is my super tasty, super easy guacamole.
What's up, Delish? It's your boy Adam Richman coming to you from my home, and this is a recipe that I love. I guess I love it because there's no real recipe to it. I always go by feel, literally, and just kind of eyeballing it, and that is guacamole. I think it ultimately comes down to the ingredients, and the ingredients are nearly always the same. So the first thing that I'm going to do for this recipe is take the bulb of garlic and actually cut off the top, exposing all the cloves, drizzle it with olive oil, and put it in an aluminum foil pouch. And we have our preheated oven, put it on the top rack. Now in the meantime, let's get the rest of these vegetables broken down. The easiest way to do it is just insert your knife halfway through. Then we have a nice, beautiful, almost cross section of avocado. Now she comes. And if you want, you can save this, plant it, toothpicks over water, grow an avocado tree, and have the single greatest vegetable ever. So what we're gonna do is we have our avocado. I'm gonna break down the other 5 of them. Now to break down the onion, it's pretty simple. We're going to trim off the tops and bottoms, and then I make cuts almost like a clock. I just make small cuts, and then it already kind of dices for me. So now what I'm gonna do is break down all the avocados, break down my onions, my tomatoes. I'm gonna try to get rid of these seeds because it's gonna give a lot more moisture and a texture I really don't want. A couple squirts of lime, dice the cilantro as fine as I possibly can. I'm gonna add the jalapeno at the very, very end. And the reason why, any given chili, whether it's in pepper form or in powder form, it gets hotter the longer it stays in any kind of liquid. For those of you who are concerned, I will be using gloves, but the most spicy part of any chili are the seeds. So you can actually change the spice component of your guacamole depending upon how many seeds you include, if at all. Let's start mashing. Now there is one other ingredient that I don't always add, and I'll be honest why. It's because it kind of smells like body odor a little bit, and that's cumin. Anyway, we're going to add some cumin to our guac. Hear a sizzle, that's gotta be a good sign. Oh, wow. And the roasting brings out a sweetness and a nuttiness that's really going to set this guacamole over the top. Let's guac this way. I got a lot of these puns, man. It rhymes with everything. Alrighty, here is our delicious guacamole. Feast your eyes. Super fragrant, smells amazing, and that roasted garlic note is right there on top. Oh my God. That's why I love keeping it crunchy and big chunks of the vegetables. That way it's not just mush, you get like all the individual characters, almost like fireworks, little bursts of heat and flavor. It's crunchy, it's refreshing, it's everything you want in guacamole in my opinion. If you want to follow any more of my food content, I am at Adam Richman. Go to my YouTube channel, Adam Richman's Quest for the Best. And if you'd like to support some of the causes I am passionate about, the Bowery Mission, No Kid Hungry, and Clear Path for Veterans.
And if you want more recipes like this, or you just want to listen to me make bad jokes, you can find me on my podcasts, Starving for Attention or Food Court. And until next time, stay hungry. Like, not physically eat the petit guacamole, but stay driven.
Thanks so much, Delish. For more Delish recipes such as my delicious guacamole, please log on to my Instagram at Chef Millie Peartree. And if you would like to do more, please donate to my Essential Meals Initiative, where we give back meals to our essential workers combating COVID-19.
Thank you, Delish, for featuring my recipe. If you want more recipes like this, go to andrewzimmern.com. Follow me on Twitter at Andrew Zimmern, Instagram at Chef AZ.
Thank you so much, Delish. And if you want to learn more recipes like this one that are simple and easy and super tasty, please check out my Instagram at Judy Joo Chef, or my website, judyjoo.com, or one of my books, Korean Food Made Simple or Korean Soul Food, please do. And if you want to take things one step further, please consider making a donation to the Tory Burch Foundation, which is dedicated to helping and supporting women across the globe open up small businesses and supporting women entrepreneurship. Thank you.